If you are planning to study abroad in 2026, the rules of the game have fundamentally changed. What worked 2 years ago could now be a multi-thousand-dollar mistake. Welcome to our 2026 Global Mobility Strategic Briefing. Today, we are revealing why you might want to rethink the world's most popular study destinations, unless you have the hidden data we're about to share. Part 1. The Landscape Shift. For decades, the Big Four, the US, UK, Canada, and Australia, were the default choices. But in 2026, these countries have transitioned from recruitment to restriction. They are no longer looking for volume. They are looking for very specific value. If you don't fit that narrow window, you are entering a high-risk zone. Let's start with Canada. The golden era of Canadian international education has officially ended. In 2026, Canada has implemented a massive reduction in provincial attestation letters. But the real trap is the PGWP. Post-grad work permits are no longer a right. They are now strictly tied to specific labor shortage fields like STEM and healthcare. If your degree doesn't match their 2026 priority list, your path to staying in Canada is effectively closed. Next is Australia. They've introduced the 295K ceiling, a national cap that limits total international spots. It's a supply and demand nightmare. Even if a university wants you, the government might say no. Furthermore, the new genuine student test is designed to filter out anyone they suspect is moving for work rather than study. Combine that with a mandatory living cost proof of nearly 30,000 Australian dollars, and the barrier to entry has never been higher. In the UK, we are seeing the settlement gap. The biggest blow is the ban on dependents for almost all top master's programs, which has redefined the student experience. But for those looking to stay, the real hurdle is the salary threshold. The government has hiked the minimum salary required for a skilled worker visa, so high that entry-level graduates are finding it nearly impossible to secure sponsorship. A surprising entry for 2026 is the Netherlands. Once the rising star of Europe, the country is now pushing back. 60% of English-taught programs are being reviewed for reversion to the Dutch language. Universities are now legally required to tell international students, if you haven't secured housing before you land, do not come. This is a destination that is currently at its absolute capacity. Look at these numbers. This is the financial filter. This chart shows the liquid funds you must have in a bank account just to get your visa approved. This excludes your tuition. Australia is leading the pack at nearly 30,000 Australian dollars. Canada has doubled its requirements. What this tells us is that these countries are now using wealth as a primary screening tool for international talent. This brings us to part 2, the Roy pivot. Does this mean you shouldn't study abroad? Absolutely not. It means you must stop chasing the brand of a country and start chasing outcome certainty. In 2026, where you study is a secondary question. The primary question is, how does the local policy align with your 5-year career goal? Compare the two paths. On the left, the legacy path, high tuition, high cost of living, and a shrinking success rate for visas. On the right, the emerging value hubs, low to zero tuition, industry-specific work rights, and a streamlined path to residency. In 2026, the prestige of a legacy degree is often outweighed by the debt it takes to acquire it. We didn't get here overnight. Since 2024, we've seen a policy tsunami. We've moved from dependent bans to national enrollment caps, and now to language protection laws. The trend is clear. 2027 and beyond will belong to those who utilize hybrid and transnational models, starting their degrees locally and finishing them abroad to mitigate these risks. So, where are the 2026 opportunities? First, Germany. Zero tuition and a desperate need for STEM and health professionals. Second, hybrid mastery, using branch campuses to save 40% on total costs. And third, new world hubs like the UAE and Singapore, which are aggressively recruiting the digital talent that the Big Four are currently turning away. The final takeaway for 2026 is simple. Knowledge is certainty. Don't be a student of the past, be a strategist of the future. Shift your focus from prestige to placement. Your future is too important to leave to chance.